My friends, welcome in to another episode of Walking and Talking with Mike C, aka LIB. Now, this is my honey hole where I do freshwater fishing, because nobody knows this place is down here. There's only a few houses on the outskirts, and nobody else really comes down and through here. It's just smack dab in the middle of a neighborhood, and it's awesome. Now the water's come up really, really high. I'm hoping it starts to recede, but I'm looking to get back into some fishing. I'm gonna try to do some river fishing in the future. So if any of you guys are interested in that, please put so. Put W fishing in the comments, and I will make videos of that for you. Maybe we'll live stream, talk together, kind of bounce ideas off each other. Slippery. Yeah, so right here, you take, I've said this before, but just in case you've never been here, this is a honey hole and a half. If you have it doesn't even matter what kind of rod you have. If you can put a bobber on it with a worm attached, fresh worms are best. You see all the bobbers here? Oh, something's moving in the grass here. It's probably a frog. You see the bobbers here? Boom, boom. There's a reason they're there, because they are the best thing to use. Now this has become the only, or if not the only spot you can stand now. The water just keeps coming up and up and up and up. It used to go up and down. It's another bobber. It used to go up and down. You see that bench right there? It's a bench. So that used to be about 10 to 15 feet away from where I would stand to fish. See how this is grass is different, because this was not water. Crazy silly. And then people throw beer cans in there. I can't reach that one, and that pisses me off even more. There's another bobber stuck out there. So you'd be surprised, if you don't know how to. What the fuck was that? It sounded like a rock came bouncing down here. Beautiful day though. If you just wanted to soak in some scenery, this is a nice quiet spot. But I used to be able to walk all the way around. You could go around the whole thing. See how there's like a dock on that side? That used to be a huge dock for the people who live back there. You see that white? It's different than that. Somebody's house right back there. This isn't super deep. In the middle, probably gets to about 8 to 10 feet. Now, maybe it's deeper. Maybe it's closer to 12 now, because there used to be a pole in the middle, and it would kind of judge how deep the water got. Whoa, that was a frog, probably. You can see there's deer up in here recently. I don't know why this big stick is broken off and laid here. It's a big stick to break off. Really big. There's another one broken in there. I'm not sure why. There are some turtles in here. There's some red-eared sliders. But, yeah, so there's a dog barking back through those woods somewhere. It's carrying, really. The house, or wherever it is there's nothing for about 100 yards in that direction at least before you hit anything. Once you get to the corner. Very, very quiet, desolate spot. If you wanted to come camping and nobody know you were down there, this is one of those spots. You can see there's fish fighting for food. They're small, probably squirrel or raccoon. I wish I had a little something to throw in there just to show it to you. Literally, as soon as you drop that worm in there, it starts getting hit. This pond looks calm, completely calm. But as soon as that worm hits, it gets attacked by. So I've caught bass in here, which I don't even think they're supposed to be in here. I've caught koi in here. They're definitely not supposed to be in here. I don't know if they're still alive. I haven't seen them in years. Caught a catfish once. It was pretty small. And then mostly it's crappie and sunnies. Maybe, I think they might be called blackfish, I'm not sure. But you hear that popping sound right there? That's just the lily pads in general. Air pockets come up, and then they pop under the lily pads. And if you're out in the woods, maybe you're looking for Bigfoot or whatever, and there's lily pads around, first of all, you got to understand, too, how loud. We don't really have much beaver here, but you have to understand how loud a beaver slap sounds when you're in the middle of nowhere, too. A beaver tail slap is loud. I really don't think. There might be one other little tiny spot over here. But yeah, this used to all be fishable. Okay. Yeah, this is a little better. I can't believe how little of an amount of space you have to work with, though. So I used to be able to walk around this whole thing because, oh, there goes a frog. They make funny noises. All this was dry. These little footprints could be frog too. I was talking to Russ about these. We were talking about by his house how the lily pad roots float up, and they're on a whole nother level by his house. That's the bench I was telling you about. So that's where I used to put my supplies on and everything, and I would fish way out here. So unfortunately, this is kind of a lost cause. But if you look around though, there's the seasons are changing. I'll show you some cool spots where the leaves are starting to change on the trees. I don't know what it is, but I was gonna try to get to it and get it out of the water. First I thought it might have been a deer antler. Alright, my friends, so yeah, you can kind of go that way, but it really leads to a whole bunch of nowhere. I'm gonna keep my eye on this location and see what happens in the future. If nature decides to take it back and the water wants to keep on rising, nothing I could do about that. Nothing I could do about that. You know, worst comes to worst, we come back and kind of clear this out. If it keeps coming, maybe I'll clear this out one day. Obviously leave the big trees, but all these weeds and things to that effect, just kind of come through and clean it up. For now, there's still enough to work with. Obviously, it's not ideal, right? You don't want to have that kind of crap in your way or whatever, but that pocket out there is perfect. That's where you want to drop your... And again, I only know what I know from fishing, like trial and error. Nobody ever taught me how to fish. So some of you might be sitting there saying, oh, there's a million better things you can do. When I tell you, I come here and anybody I take in here, which is very, very few, my kids and a couple others, we drop the line in there, bam. You're coming out with fish almost every time you throw it in there. And they're not big. They're not big fish. But it's a good time. Alright guys, not sure if I'll post this video, but a lot of you like to look around and stare into the wood line, see if there's any differences while I'm pointing and looking around. A lot of you make fun of me and say, when the finger comes out, you know there's something to look at. And that's true. But it's usually when I'm waving it like that, that means there's something right there. Alright guys, gotta go climb this hill.